Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. So children, let us start with a new lesson in Standard 8th, and the subject is scholarship and the topic is English. Okay, so we will start with the lesson 4.4 in your scholarship textbook, and the name of the lesson is Transformation of Sentences. So now children, you must have heard about this word transformation. So what does the word transformation mean? Transformation means change. To transform means to change. Okay, so when we are learning about transformation of sentences, we will be learning about how sentences change. But there is a very important part to this. When the sentences change, there is something which should not change. That we will see very soon. Okay, now what is sentence? What is the meaning of a sentence? A sentence means a group of words which are written together and which make some sense. So you cannot just write some words together and say that this is a sentence. They have to make sense, the words when they're written together. So this group of words which is written together and which is called as a sentence, sometimes we make changes in those sentences. And that is called as transformation. Now, children, there is a lot to learn in this particular topic. Okay, we have to try and understand how transformation happens, what are the various ways in which you can transform the sentence, and what are the actual transformation things that you do when you change a sentence. Okay, and then we have to see the paper question patterns, we have to see the examples. So, this is going to be a long lesson. So, for that reason, what I have done is I have tried to break it up into two. So today we will be doing part 1 of this lesson, transformation of sentences. Here we will try and see what the meaning is. We will try and understand the various aspects related to transformation of sentence, and then whatever is remaining, we will pick it up next time. Okay, so come on, let's start with understanding what the meaning of transformation of sentences is. So, transformation of a sentence means changing its form without altering its sense or its meaning. So, when you change a sentence, when you transform a sentence, what do? You change its form. Sometimes you change the words in it, okay? But when you change the form means what? A sentence may be positive, you make it negative. A sentence may be in the kind of a question, you make it into a statement. Okay, we change its form, of course, but we do not alter the meaning or the sense of that sentence. Knowledge of sentence transformation, how does it help you then? It helps you to expand our usage skills by testing various ways of presenting a sentence in multiple ways, but without changing its actual meaning. So, suppose I want to write a sentence in 3 different ways without changing its meaning. How will I be able to do it? I will be able to do it only if I know and understand what transformation of sentences means. Okay, so that is extremely important. Transformation of sentences is important if you want to expand your language skills, that is, how to use language in various situations. Okay, so that is the meaning of transformation of sentences. Now, how do you actually do the transformation? What are the different types of transformation which are done? So, you can use no sooner than in a sentence where there is no sooner than previously written. Okay, there is a particular sentence where there is no sooner than. This phrase is not there in it, but you can make use of this phrase no sooner than. Then you can use not only but also. If there is no not only and but also, you can add not only and but also and transform the sentence. But at the same time, the meaning should not change. That is most important. Keep it underlined somewhere at the back of your head. Then you can remove if and unless. If there is unless in the sentence, you remove it.
you use some other word in its place, it becomes transformation of sentences. Sometimes you remove the word to also. When there is a to in the sentence, you do away with the to. That is also called transformation of sentences. You can add a question tag to a statement and then you can transform it. When the sentence is in the form of a statement, when you add a question tag, you're not actually changing the meaning. But what are you doing? You're transforming it. Okay, you're changing the form. You can take an interrogative sentence and make it assertive, or you can take an assertive sentence and make it interrogative. This is also an example of transformation. You can pick up an assertive sentence, make it exclamatory. You can pick up an exclamatory sentence, make it assertive. That is also an example of transformation. Affirmative to negative, where there is a positive statement, you make it negative, then that is transformation. Or an imperative sentence, you make it assertive. Imperative means which is an order, a command. If you change it to assertive, an assertive sentence is a statement, then that is also called as transformation. So these are the different types of transformation that could be actually done. Okay, now let's see the ways in which you can transform a sentence. These are all the types where you actually transform a sentence. For example, if I'm removing to, that means I'm changing a word. If I'm removing no sooner than, that means I'm changing a word. But if I'm making a sentence from interrogative to assertive or from exclamatory to assertive, what am I doing? I'm changing the form. All right. And of course, by adding question tag, also I'm changing the sentence. So there are basically three ways of transformation. That is, the first way is when you change words in a sentence. So no sooner than, as soon as, when you make such changes, then that is one way of transformation. The second way of transformation is when you change the form of a sentence. That is a positive sentence, you make it negative. A negative sentence, you make it positive. An exclamatory sentence, you make it assertive. So what are you doing? You're changing the form of a sentence. And finally, the third way that you can change a sentence is by adding question tags. Okay, so these are the different ways in which you can transform a sentence. Now, what we will do is, children, wherever possible, we'll try to understand the meaning of these ways of transformation, or we will see examples. So, looking at various examples is one way in which you can learn language. So, come on, let's start by seeing the first type of transformation by changing words. So, see, when you interchange the adverb to with so that, all right, there is the adverb to in a sentence. You're picking out the to and you're adding so that. What are you doing? You're transforming the sentence by changing the words. A simple sentence containing the adverb to can be transformed into a complex sentence containing so that with no difference in meaning. How? Let's take a look at some examples. The news is too good to be true. That is, it is such good news that I can't believe that it is true. How will you change it? The news is so good that it cannot be true. See, I've changed it. All right? Then, the thief ran too fast for the police to catch. The thief ran so fast that the police could not catch him. So, where I'm changing certain things, just pay attention. Too good to be true became so good that it cannot be true. There is a negativity which I have introduced in the answer. Too fast to catch, so fast that could not catch. So, see how the sentence is transforming, how the sentence is changing. At the same time, am I changing the meaning? No. Okay, then he is too proud to beg. He is so proud that he will not beg. Okay, so pay attention to how the word has changed and how the sentence has then transformed. Then we have the second type where interchange of as soon as with no sooner than. When there are the words as soon as in a sentence and you want to replace it with no sooner than, sorry, then also what are you doing? You're transforming your sentence. So as soon as and no sooner than are similar in meaning, but they fit differently into a sentence. The way they sit in a sentence, the way they fit in a sentence is different, but the meaning is similar. Okay, let's see some examples. As soon as the teacher walked in, the children greeted her. No sooner did the teacher walk in than the children greeted her. So, see, am I changing certain words? And have I changed the meaning? No, I haven't. But I've changed so many words. Okay? Then, as soon as the moon rose, the clouds disappeared. No sooner had the moon risen than the clouds disappeared. So, see, the verb is changing, the tense of the verb is changing slightly. All right, just pay attention to all this. Okay? Then you have, as soon as we came out of the hotel, it started raining. No sooner did we come out of the hotel than it started raining. So you can see in each case, the as soon as has been taken away, done away with, and we have added no sooner than. Okay, so this is how we interchange as soon as with no sooner than, and then we do certain transformations here. Coming to the next type, where we interchange the degree of comparison. So, he is as brave as a lion. Now, see, brave is in the positive degree. What is comparative? It is braver. And what is superlative? It is the bravest. So, what have I done, children? I've changed the adjective from the positive degree to the comparative degree. But focus on whether I have changed the meaning. No, I haven't. Okay, now let's take a look at the next examples, next few examples. I am as weak as a child. Weak is in the positive degree. A child is not weaker than me. Weaker is in the comparative degree. Rohit is as dull as Mohan. Mohan is not duller than Rohit. So I've changed the degrees. Let's focus on the meaning now. He is as brave as a lion means the lion and him, they're equally brave. So, see what is the next transformed sentence? What it says? It says a lion is not braver than him. That means both of them are equally brave. So, see the sentence meaning has not changed. I am as weak as a child. Me and the child are equally weak. A child is not weaker than me. That means the child and me are equally weak. So, see, has the meaning changed? No. In the third example, Rohit and Mohan are equally dull. So Rohit is as dull as Mohan. So Mohan is not duller than Rohit. So this is how the transformation of sentence takes place, by changing the degree of comparison, that is by changing the word. Now we come to the next point in this, where we interchange the parts of speech. When you interchange the parts of speech, what do you do? So what are parts of speech? Noun is a part of speech, adjective is a part of speech, adverb is a part of speech. Okay, sometimes in a sentence we can take away the noun and we can use an adverb, we can use an adjective without changing the meaning. Let's see some examples. So now the same word or the basic idea can exist in several different forms. For example, the word success is a noun. It has two other forms: successful, which is an adjective, and succeed, which is a verb. Okay, so you might use the word success in certain cases, you might use the word successful in some other cases, you might write succeed in some other cases. Okay, so that means that when you use the same word but in different ways, in different forms, then you can do it. But the way you write the sentence will change. Okay, let's see, for example, Akbar showed generosity even to his enemies. Now, the word generosity is a noun. The word generous is an adjective. But are the sentences written in the same manner? Let's check. Akbar showed generosity even to his enemies. Akbar was generous even to his enemies. So the showed has become was. Okay, let's see a few more examples. He read the agreement carefully. Carefully is the adverb. He read the agreement with care. Here, care is the noun. This book costs rupees 300. Costs here is the verb. Okay, whereas the cost of this book is 300, where the cost is the noun. So see, generosity is a noun, generous is an adjective, carefully is an adverb, care is a noun, costs is the verb, cost is the noun. See how we have changed. Okay, we have replaced an adjective with a noun with an adverb, a noun with a verb, but the meaning of the sentence has not changed anywhere. So this is how you can interchange the words, that is, you can interchange the parts of speech. Okay, we come to the second way now, by changing the form of the sentence. Now, what is the meaning of form? Certain sentences could be in the positive way, positive structure. Certain sentences could be in the form of statements. Certain sentences could be in the form of questions. So, when you change the form of a sentence, what are you doing? You're transforming the sentence. See, you change from affirmative to negative. Affirmative means positive. Negative means a sentence with no, not, etc. Okay, so see how it can be done. If we find the word am, is, are, was, were plus adjective in an affirmative sentence, we will write the word not instead of that word, am, is, are, whatever, and make the opposite word of the adjective at the time of the negative sentence. So when you say not, then the adjective becomes the opposite. You make the adjective into opposite. For example, see the affirmative sentence, man is mortal. Negative sentence, man is not immortal. If I simply write, man is not mortal, that means I'm changing the meaning. I'm saying man is immortal. Okay, that is why when I say add not, then I also have to make the adjective opposite. All right, let's take a look at some more examples. The knife was blunt. Blunt means which is not sharp at all. So, what did I write? The knife was not sharp. Blunt means not sharp. So, the knife was blunt in the affirmative becomes the knife was not sharp in the negative. Then you have the king was not always wise. Negative. Not wise means what? Foolish. So the king was sometimes foolish. He was not always wise. Remember, it is not that he was not wise at all. Sometimes he was wise, but sometimes he was not. So the king was sometimes foolish. This is affirmative. Okay? Then you can also change a sentence from exclamatory to assertive. And that way you can change the form of the sentence. For example, how well she dances becomes she dances very well. Okay, the exclamatory sentence is a sentence which shows strong feelings. It could be feelings of joy, feelings of sorrow, feelings of anger, fear. So the way you say the sentence is also different. All right, let's take a look at this example. How terrible fate awaits the man. How do you say this? A terrible fate awaits the man. So you've changed the sentence from exclamatory to assertive. Then you have, what a most unhappy life he leads. It becomes, he leads a most unhappy life. Then you have, how charming the weather is, which becomes, the weather is very charming indeed. Then you have, how eloquent speech it was. Or you can also say, what an eloquent speech it was. How will you make it assertive? It was the most eloquent speech. So this is how you change an exclamatory sentence into an assertive sentence. Okay, now we move on and we look at the next kind of transformation where you transform the form of the sentence, interrogative and assertive. So a sentence is interrogative, you make it assertive. A sentence is assertive, you make it interrogative. How? Is Mohan foolish to believe these lies? So when I'm saying this itself, it means that I know that Mohan is not foolish to believe these lies. Is Mohan foolish to believe these lies? Mohan is not foolish to believe these lies. Then you have, is your father the oldest man in this society? The answer will be, how will you change it? My father is not the oldest man in this society. Okay? Then you have, are not the houses in the villages smaller than those in the cities? The houses in the villages are smaller than those in the cities. And then you have, is smoking a healthy habit? Smoking is not a healthy habit. So, have you learned or heard about these questions before, children? These questions are called as rhetorical questions. Rhetorical. They are not expecting you to give an answer. Okay? The question itself is like an answer. So, it is a rhetorical question. Okay? So, this is one way you can transform your sentences. The third way you do it is by adding question tag. Now, what is a question tag? Question tag is a very short or very small question which you add to a statement. Let's see. Question tags are short questions at the end of statements. We use them when we want to clarify or confirm that something is true or not, or simply to involve the listener in a more interactive way. Okay, now question tags are used to clarify or confirm. For example, if I say it is very hot today, and when I want to clarify this point or I want to get it confirmed from someone else also, I will say, it is very hot today, isn't it? So, what am I doing? I'm clarifying and confirming, and also I'm involving the listener in a more interactive way. So, just instead of telling the listener, it is very hot today, I'm also asking for his opinion. I'm asking him to confirm or to whether to tell me that no, there is something wrong with you. You are not well, probably. That is why you're feeling hot. Okay, so this is why question tags are used. Now, to make a question tag, you first use the auxiliary. If there is no auxiliary, then you can use do, does, or did. All right. Now, one more important thing to remember here is a positive statement is followed by a negative question tag, always, and vice versa. A negative statement is followed by a positive question tag. So, if I say, you are a student, aren't you? He is busy, isn't he? He was happy, wasn't he? They were interested, weren't they? You speak English, don't you? So, see, when the statement is positive, when there is an are used, you make it aren't. When it is, you make it isn't. When it is was, you make it wasn't. When it is were, you make it weren't. When it is speak, you do speak English. And you make it don't you. So, when it is a positive statement, it is always followed by a negative question tag. And just the opposite. When it is a negative statement, it is followed by a positive question tag. No salt is allowed, isn't it? Is it? So, no here is a negative statement. So, you said, is it? Nothing was lost, was it? Lee hardly worked, did he? Sarah seldom visits us, does she? You wouldn't stop me, would you? So, see how I've used a positive tag with a negative statement. So, this was about as much information as I could give you about transformation of sentences. Now, we have a lot of questions based on this topic, but they are all of different patterns. Okay, now we almost have 7 patterns of questions which can be asked based on this topic, but we will not get time to discuss all of them. Let's just take a look at the headings of the questions, and then we will come back and we will solve the examples in the next video. So, see, choose the correct sentence without the adverb to. Choose the correct sentence using no sooner than. Choose the sentence with the correct changed degree of comparison. Choose the correct sentence interchanging the underlined parts of speech in the following. You also have choose the correct sentence changing the form as instructed, or fill in the blank with the correct question tag. And the 7th pattern is change the following sentence from affirmative to negative. So we learned the different ways. Okay, we have to just see whether we are able to actually do it when it comes to a question. Okay, children. So now what did I tell you? That we will do all this practical part, that is solving the question part, when we do the second video based on this topic. So that is all for today in this video. I want you to watch the entire video and also try and solve certain tasks which I have set up for you.
So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learned a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.